But either or, where would you go? Sander Berge or Fafana? I nearly said Fafino because it would have sounded good. Fafana. Who would you rather have as Manchester United's midfielder? We will talk about that. But let's hit the De Ligt story first of all, because I wasn't on the show last night. It was Kev and I was out watching it whilst out. But effectively, there are a couple of stories that have come out around De Ligt that, I mean, look, are you patient? Are you happy? Are you okay with the way Man United are behaving at the moment? Because everybody's entitled to an opinion. You know, it absolutely stuns me how Sander Berge, with some of our expert fans on Twitter, is suddenly now the signing of the summer. Their hypocrisy makes me laugh. You're entitled to say he's not a bad player. Maybe he's not that bad. I don't want him anywhere near United. I think he's bang average, if I'm being honest. And yes, that you will get the complete and utter, as I was talking about on the podcast yesterday, you'll get these weirdos who say, bet man's never seen him play. Can we stop with the bet man's never seen him play? It's sexist, could be a woman. And also, what football fan hasn't seen at least 2 or 3 games of any player that's been linked with Manchester United? I mean, unless we're signing Casido all those years ago from Ecuador, who I'd never seen, this nonsense that you've got to have seen somebody play 100 times and been round their house for Saturday night dinner is absolute crap. I've seen Sander Berge play. I don't need your little clips off your TikToks to tell me that he's the next Rodri. I've seen him play. Like, he's literally played against Man United probably 5 or 6 times in the last 2 seasons. So we've all seen him play. And when it comes to, you know, analysing players, I think we're all more than capable of not passing opinion on a player that we've never seen. What's wrong with saying you haven't seen a player? I haven't seen a lot of Fafana. I've said that 4 times this summer. I haven't seen a lot of Fafana from Monaco. So I'm not going to pretend he's total horseshit, and I'm not going to pretend that he is the next Camavinga, because I haven't seen enough of him. All I go off is what I've seen, and what I've seen from the written word from decent people who know that league, and that's all I can go off. So I'm going off an opinion. I'm not going off my opinion. And I don't know why people have to be. I do think that there is an element of modern football fan, and I think we all know who we're talking about here, who, because they clip up stuff and talk about players from the Portuguese second league, they have to pretend that they've watched every player in depth. And in life, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. If you haven't seen somebody, just admit it. I have seen Sander Berge. I'm not impressed. And it makes me laugh how some of these experts are telling us that Sander Berge is the guy. And yet a week ago, they never would have mentioned him in their top 50 midfielders for Man United. So let's have a reality bite on Sander Berge, because no one was talking about him. And now suddenly, wow, you know what? I think we've unearthed the worldie. We haven't unearthed the worldie. No one was talking about him, and he's not even in Ineos's top 5. It's just we can't get any of our targets in the midfield. So we're moving down the list. We're literally going down the list to plan F, G, H and all that stuff. So, you know, it is what it is. If you want that, fine. I'd rather keep the money in the pocket and wait till January. I genuinely would rather go with McTominay, Eriksen, Casemiro, Collier, Mainu, Mount, Bruno, keep the money in the pocket and wait. I'd rather do what Sir Jim said. I'd rather walk to the right decision than rush to the wrong decision. And this just feels like the end of the transfer window. Let's buy somebody. But that somebody ends up costing us money. And we haven't got a lot of money. And that somebody ends up being here for the next 5 years and you can't sell them. I'd rather we didn't buy anyone. I really, really do. And I know people don't like that because they're desperate for a shiny new toy. But you're going to get bored of this new toy very, very quickly when you realise it ain't what you thought it was. I would rather keep the money in the pocket. I really, really would. But look, let me talk to you about De Ligt, because we're going to come back to that. I just wanted to set up the poll. So, with De Ligt, Man United want to sign De Ligt. With Bayern Munich, they want to sell De Ligt. And with De Ligt, he wants to come to Man United. So those things are all still true. Even this morning, they're still true. Last night, apparently Leverkusen closed the deadline on Bayern Munich signing Tar. And as Plettigol said, the German journalist said, it's not a surprise that Bayern Munich did not meet that deadline because, you know, it was quite a sudden deadline and it probably caught them out, and they haven't sold De Ligt yet. But Bayern Munich don't feel that the Tar deal is off, and also Bayern Munich don't feel that even if the Tar deal is off, that's the end of the De Ligt deal. So realistically, it could mean that De Ligt doesn't join Man United if Tar doesn't join Bayern Munich. But the latest this morning is that actually Bayern Munich would still sell De Ligt to Manchester United, which probably means they still think they can do something with Tar. So maybe it was a bit of a... I said this on the press conference reaction, didn't I? I felt that the whole Bayer Leverkusen deadline thing was a bit of a... You know, sometimes clubs put deadlines there and the buying club just goes, you can screw your deadline, we'll keep doing what we're going to do. And it feels a little bit like that. So I wouldn't say... I mean, let's get into the news. We're talking about the news, but probably the biggest news this morning is it's Friday. And on Sunday night, we spoke about the desire to have at least 2 or 3 big deals in. And we haven't got any. And we've got no deals out. So when people talk about patience, and there are people out there talking about patience and saying, you know, at the end of the day, it's a difficult job, and I'm sure we can judge it on August the 31st. I think there's always people in life that take a deep breath, step away, and go, where's an angle here that will get me a lot of credibility that's different to everybody else, that I can word in a way that not many people can disagree with me. And what I mean by that is, you might have seen a few on Twitter going, we just need to be patient. Rome wasn't built in a day. We know it's a difficult job for Ineos. Let's just wait till August the 31st before we analyse this transfer window. And to that, I go, congratulations, you have an opinion. But there are holes in it. There are definitely holes in your in Lilo there, Mr. Hedgehog, because waiting till August the 31st... Fulham aren't going to wait till August the 31st to players. Neither are Liverpool and neither are Brighton. We've got 3 big games before August the 31st. So waiting till August the 31st, you have to deduct points on a transfer window anyway, because we should be ready for the start of the season, not August the 31st. So I think that's a point. Also, it's not just about who we buy, it's about who we sell. So I don't think that the patient approach is the moral calm approach that they try to convey, that the people who are impatient are just, you know, the online e-fans, as certain journalists would say. I think there is every right to look at the season and go, hold on a minute, this is your first summer transfer window, not your second, not your third, not your 10th. This is your first summer transfer window. You came in on a whirlwind of best in class and new Man United, and it's very, very similar to every window we've had in the last 5. So I'm not patient with what's going on. I'm hopeful that we can still turn it around. But look at some of the targets we're looking at as well. Look at what we're looking at in the midfield. They are not plan A targets. They are not best in class. They are scraping the barrel in class. And we are not in a position... I mean, look at all the injuries we've got that we spoke about yesterday. This is not, by any stretch of the imagination, a misinterpretation by the fans. We're not confused. We're not missing something here. It's not like, oh, there's something hidden going on that we haven't seen as, you know, as mere mortals, and there's some genius at play here. It's slow, it's unorganised, it's chaotic, and it's concerning at the moment. Goldbridge, that's the end of the clip. I'm sure you enjoyed it. In fact, I bet that's the best clip you've ever watched. So there's no reason not to subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon so you never miss a clip again. In fact, smash a like on the video, because we all know only legends like videos, and you are all legends. So please smash a like on the video, and we will see you again on the next one. Thank you very much for watching, as always.